Hey, everybody, it's time for another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com, or if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, that's Tar Heel Illustrated. Quick reminder, you don't follow us on Twitter, do so now at Heel Illustrated, no S in the middle, at Heel Illustrated. You can find a ton of our stuff and some fun stuff that Trey Scott does on our Facebook page, Tar Heel Illustrated. Also, quick reminder that this show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports. So, the Tar Heels open up in just a few days against South Carolina in Charlotte. This whole week, all the drops are football related. We got some other basketball stuff that we're running as well, but not in the series of drops that I'm doing. So, the focus here is a simple one, or maybe a not so simple one. Why will Gene Chizik's defense be better this year? I'm not stepping out saying the defense will be a lot better or even marginally better. I do think it will be improved. So I will at least say that much. How much? I don't know. But I'm going to outline 6 reasons here why I think the defense should be improved. And if it is much better, here are the 6 reasons why. I'm going to begin with pre snap. We've talked a lot about pre snap in the spring, but a whole lot here in the last month, going over to the Coleman practice complex and talking to Coach Chizik, talking to Mac, talking to quite a few of the defensive players. They've talked an awful lot about the emphasis on pre snap, being better in pre snap. That means you've got to be prepared. You've got to have your eyes in the right place. You've got to recognize what the offense is doing. So when the ball is snapped, you react properly. I've said this before and I'll say it again. A B level athlete is just as effective as an A level athlete if the B level athlete breaks on the snap properly most of the time when the A level athlete only does it some of the time. They become equal players. Then it's a matter of who tackles better. It's a matter of angles. It's a matter of toughness. It's a matter of strength and that kind of thing. And they have emphasized all of that. So that's the second thing. Quicker on the snap. If you're really good in pre-snap, there's no excuse not to be quicker when the ball is snapped. You react better. You're automatically heading in the right direction and you're reading the way the play is going. It also allows you to adjust during the play without having to overcome a bad read and then adjusting. So you're just quicker. Everything you do is quicker. And what that amounts to is being faster to the ball, faster to the right angle, faster to beat the block. If a guard is pulling and his job is to kick you out and you're there before he is, and suddenly however you read the play and you move in a manner that renders his pulled block ineffective and useless, you could snuff out a play. It also means beating a tackle to the quarterback. It also means beating a running back who is staying back to chip someone who's rushing the quarterback. It also might mean getting in the way of a pass route before the route could fully be run. It also might mean making your fits in run defense, whether it's the linebackers or even the safeties. And that's really important. One of the things this team has emphasized is being better against the run on first down. And in order to do that, the safeties have to be able to be really good in pre-snap. They have to be able to break properly on the snap, and they have to be quick to whatever their assignment is. And if it's making their fits, they got to make their fits. And then if that all happens, you'll see the Tar Heels have more success on first down run defense, which does what? It puts teams in second and longer situations, perhaps third and longer situations. And that's advantageous for a defense that wants to be more aggressive this year. If you're going to fire some stuff from the edge more than a year ago, it's better to do so on a 2nd and 8 than on a 2nd and 3. You don't really want to do that on a 2nd and 3. So, as the Tar Heels did improve a little bit more on first down run defense a year ago, you notice that the blitzes picked up as well. So look for a more aggressive defense this year because Gene Chizik is confident his team is better in pre-snap. He's confident that his team is quicker reacting at the snap, and his team is faster to the ball. I'm going to hit on three more things, but first, let's go ahead and hear from our friends over at Underdog Fantasy.
I'm very excited to announce our new partnership with Underdog Fantasy. We decided to partner with Underdog because it's the easiest place to play fantasy sports, and it's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. Now, Underdog Fantasy has a lot to offer, including their Pick'em game. And in Pick'em, you pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game for a chance to win big. It's so easy to play. Just pick 2 to 5 stats of your favorite players and choose whether they'll go higher or lower. You can 20x your money by going 5 for 5. They also have a Best Ball Mania. If you think you know football, definitely need to check this one out. This year's Best Ball Mania has $15 million in total prizes up for grabs, with the winner taking home $3 million. So sign up today with promo code HEAL and get your first deposit doubled by up to $100. Visit underdogfantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with promo code HEAL, HEEL, to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. You must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. And if you are concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Back to the show.
All right, thank you to Underdog Fantasy. And remember, you can sign up today with the promo code HEAL, and you get your first deposit doubled up to $100. The last three reasons North Carolina's defense will be better in year 2 under Gene Chizik. It's going to be more violent. They have emphasized the word violent more than I've ever heard in my career covering college and pro football. 28th season. And I really didn't hear the word violent that much before, but every time we talk to Gene Chizik, he throws the word out there. Talk to Cedric Gray, use the word violent. Talk to Kamen Rucker, use the word violent. Talk to Amari Gaynor, he uses the word violent. Power Eccles, violent. Even Mac Brown has used the word violent. So they need to be more violent. They need to be more vicious. They need to pop more. Well, if you go back and look at the first three things I addressed, if those three things are in place, you're better positioned to be more violent. If you're making a collision where you're quicker to where the ball is and you're hitting someone more head on instead of on the side, that's going to be a more violent collision. Advantage goes to the defender the more square on those hits are. Another reason is I think this team has more depth. In fact, I know it has more depth. It has experience depth. When healthy, they have 14 rotation players who have played at least 1,000 snaps on defense in college. They have 17 guys that have played at least 700 defensive snaps in college. They have, I believe it's 6 college graduates in the rotation on defense. And they have a ton of dudes that are 21 and older. This is not a young group anymore. They have some young guys out there. You're going to see a lot of Tayon Holloway Saturday night. You're going to see Marcus Allen starting at one of the corners. So you're going to have some young guys out there. Amari Campbell's a true freshman. He's going to back up at inside linebacker. But by and large, this is an older group. This is a team that should be good in pre-snap when they're this old. Therefore, they should be quicker when the ball snapped. Therefore, they should be faster to the ball. Therefore, they should be more violent. But they have more depth, which means they should give these guys rests. So they should be fresher in the fourth quarter. Your defensive lineman shouldn't be in the 55 snap range in the fourth quarter. Your safeties and corners, they should be able to get some breaks. They're a little thin at corner right now. But they still have enough where they should try to keep, they have the ability to keep those guys somewhat fresh. So if you could trim 15 to 20 snaps, let's say 15 snaps, think about the advantage that is in the last 5 minutes of a game when the other team's marching down the field and your job is to get off the field without them scoring. So having more depth, especially in the first month of the season when it's going to be hot, and especially when offenses have a little bit of an advantage now with the clock not stopping on first downs except for the last 2 minutes of each half. So you're going to have some linemen, some guys out there that may have to stay on the field for 6, 7, 8, 9 straight plays because a team's going to tempo, the clock's not stopping on timeout or on first downs, and they can't sub for them. So if you can go one series with one group, another series with another group, you're going to be in pretty good shape, literally and figuratively, late in the fourth quarter of games. And the final thing is this group has a collective chip on its shoulder. They've talked about it. They've talked about it. They've talked about it. Cedric Gray said they're pissed off. That's a direct quote. In fact, Kamari Morales, tight end, said, I'm pissed off for him. And this whole team has a chip because they lost their last 4 games last year. But the defense in particular, because as soon as the fourth quarter at App State happened, they were being dogged everywhere, and they still are. So if you take a look at the first 3 things, pre-snap, quick on the snap, fast to the ball, then you add violence, you have the depth factor, and then a chip. And Gene Chizik has acknowledged he's got a chip. Mack has said Gene's got a chip. So everybody on that side of the ball has a chip. Even Elijah Huzzy said, hey, I wasn't here a year ago, but I got a chip on my shoulder for him. I think that's part of the fuel that you'll see from this defense Saturday night and moving forward. So those are the 6 things, guys. If North Carolina's defense is going to be better in year 2 under Gene Chizik, it's because of these 6 things. I actually believe all 6 of these things are in play. So I do think they'll be a little bit better. But like I said early in this podcast, I have no idea how much better. That's the beautiful thing about sports. We do not know. We got to watch the games and see everything unfold, and then we find out. Anyway, thanks again to Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports, for sponsoring our daily drops and a bunch of our podcasts, football show, and some other stuff. And make sure you guys go over to TarHeelIllustrated.com, just $8.33 a month. You can be an insider too. Go ahead and click like on this video if you like it. Click like on this video if you think Gene Chizik's defense is going to be better this year. Click like on this video if you hope Gene Chizik's defense is going to be better this year. Make sure you share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you know every time we upload videos, and we do it often. I'm AJ. See you tomorrow.